The crown?
Let me know if that's a flame. You think it's a flame?
No.
My notes aren't going to be right until
That's
it's a flame.
amazing. My notes.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome to another round of Hot Seat. Woo! All right. So we got Will here. How was your week? Tell me about a little bit, like where you at, stuff like that. And if you're not making sales yet or whatever, we can go through whatever we need to. This is a very low key hot seat. I'll say it that way. The goal is to try to help. So where you at? What'd you do last week? You got your numbers handy. I would really appreciate it if you have your numbers ready, like how many dials, how many leads you took, dials, stuff like that. So
I don't have.
that's okay. Do you have an activity book yet?
I do.
Okay, we need to get you to start using that.
Okay, I have. Yeah, I have. I just haven't written the whole. I just wrote the appointments.
That's cool. It's all good. And I know you're part-time. But even still, having those numbers ready to go will really, one, it helps you focus on your business, but two, it gives me what I need to properly coach you. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
All right, cool. So since you don't have your numbers, just kind of give me a rundown of your week last week.
Last week I made, I don't know, maybe close to 80 or 90 dials.
Okay.
I can only do it like right before work, but
Okay.
I made 4 appointments.
You remember how many contacts you talked to?
Contacts, I think I only had like 6.
You booked 4 out of the 6.
Yep.
All right, well, that's good. Yeah, really, sounds good. Good. All right.
So once I started running the next day, and I had them all in one day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How was your show rate out of those 6 people? No, there's 4 people that said, "Yep, come on over." How many did you actually get a chance to sit down with?
1. Well, technically 2, but the other one had to reschedule.
Okay. So you sat down with 1 and 1 had to reschedule, or you sat down with 2 and 1 had to reschedule?
Sat down with 2 and 1 had to reschedule.
So 3 out of 4 were present. Not hating your phone script. All right, good. Let's move on into in-home. Tell me about the first one you sat down with. And did you sell this one?
No, I did not.
Let's talk about that one. This one.
Yeah, I sat down with Michael, and he has a wife, Kimberly, but I know I should have rescheduled as soon as she wasn't there.
Yes. Did we already talk about that
I
one?
talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Should have rescheduled once she was not there. So.
Yeah, problem solved next.
Yeah.
It's tricky. Yeah. I mean, when you're trying to build intimacy with a husband and a wife, isn't that right, Nick? Checking the same thing this week. I think we're going to see a series of a bunch of one-lighters. To be clear, we should not sit husband and wife.
Definitely not. Because I feel like it would have went a lot better if she had been. Because she stopped by for a few minutes, but she was like on lunch or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, so she was pretty much like the pants wearer.
Oh, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
even more so that she needs to be there. You know why it is so important that we meet with a husband and a wife?
I think it's good he can recognize that too.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry. That's okay. What you know why it's important to meet with a husband and a wife? There's a certain special dynamic that goes on there.
Because they should be making a decision together.
Do you typically in a buying situation? Well, you're pretty new in a relationship with Landry. How long have you guys been together?
Close to a year.
Close to a year.
Unofficial 2 years.
Unofficial 2 years. I just got that from the crowd. Somebody. Over these last 2 years, you guys have been sort of together. What's the biggest thing that you have purchased?
A car.
Did you go? Was she present? Did you tell
The
her
whole
about
time she was pregnant. I told her all that.
Would you have felt comfortable making a big decision like that without her input? Why? Would you have been scared? Okay, so I'm getting, this is my point, and you're starting to see it.
Makes sense.
People that are couples, regardless if they're married or not, I mean, you guys are married, you're a couple. When it comes to making decisions, especially life type stuff, and so cars are a big deal, houses are a big deal. Making sure that your family's forever protected after your death, I'd put that in that category. It's a pretty big deal. A husband without a wife without her husband are highly unlikely to make that decision by themselves on a vacuum. What if the guy says, "Well, I'm the man of the house"? Is that permission to go ahead and proceed? Should you go? Oh, should you listen to him or listen to me on this one?
You.
Right.
Still have both present.
It is. And so there are a couple ways, because you're going to hit this inevitably. Guys have egos, and especially if they have a low self-worth or whatever. That's a whole nother thing. But you're going to get the macho guy that's going to occasionally say, well, I don't really need her here. I make all the decisions. All right. Do you have any idea how you would respond to that in a home?
I would probably say something along the lines of, she might have some questions of her own that you might not think about now, but she might have certain questions. So
It's not bad. It's not bad. What else could you say? And remember, we got to think psychology, people here, right? We don't want to piss this guy off. We don't want to challenge this guy in his own home. So based on what I just said, the last thing that you just said, could that be construed as a challenge? That what if she has some questions?
Well,
maybe a little bit, right? So here, I'm gonna step aside for a second out of our line of coaching. I want to teach you something real quick. People ask questions for two reasons. One is to gain information. The other is to intimidate. It's the only two reasons people ask questions. Like, I'll give you an example. And it's also a tone of voice. Let's say, let's just say you and Landry are out eating lunch, and you both sat down, and you're coming towards the end of your meal, and you've still got your applesauce left.
Sounds about right.
And then Landry says, and she says, did you like your meal? Are you getting your applesauce too? She might be just trying to get some information, right? I paid for this lunch. Are you going to eat that applesauce? See how one is to intimidate you and one is to seek knowledge. So there's two. So we're always listening. We're trying to figure out where are people coming from, right? And so like we play this question game. We've done that a lot, right? So I'm more likely, and this will be surprising, I'm more likely to answer somebody's question if I think they're being genuine and I really think they're seeking information. Now, I'm careful not to jump all over it because I've learned in as smart and in all the wisdom that I have, I always don't know what the heck people are actually asking. And so I've made a habit of asking clarifying questions before I provide answers. I want to make sure I really do understand it. And I'm not so arrogant more to think that I always know what people are actually asking. I used to. I was the guy who was like, just hurry up. I know what you want. I know what you want. Just hurry up and finish so I can say what I need to say. Can't be that guy or girl at home. Okay. And so if you were to ask that question, well, what if she was? So there's another route we got to take when we have this situation. Guy says, I'm the man of the house. We don't need her here. What are some ways you could get out of that? That's probably a better term. What's the way you get out of that point without offending him or challenging him? Any ideas? Y'all be thinking we're about to go around the room.
without offending him or
Without offending him.
Yeah, I got it on the list.
Okay, that's cool. Landry, do you have any idea?
Okay, just a shot. Maybe, kind of turn it back on you as if it's more of a weakness of you, not him.
Okay, wonderful. Good God. She's dead on. Anytime I want to get out of something, I always make it my fault, not theirs. So a simple way to remove ourselves from that situation is like, let me see if you practice that movement. Wish I could. Company policy. I don't look.
Love you, baby.
Love you too. Deanna.
There's no way.
All right, and so you gotta go. I wish I could. Company policy. I don't know if it's a legal thing or what. See, now it's not his fault. It's not even your fault. It's the big company policy and this guy's fault. Yeah, they say I guess legally that they like to they want to make sure that the spouse understands all the benefits if God forbid something does happen. But once it gets time to reschedule, I'm happy to come back. See, now we're not challenging anybody. We're just following protocol. See, we don't have to be the man. We don't have to be in charge. This kind of gets into the whole phone script thing. It's like we're just getting our routes together. I'm getting my route. I mean, you don't have to be the guy to be great at sales. You can be like, you basically, there's some rules, some protocols that you want to follow. And as long as you're inside, you're doing that, you're going to be okay. So next time you hit something like that, you just got to go, wish I could. No, it's company policy. I don't know if it's a legal thing or what, but it has something to do with when you die. More than likely, I guess she's probably going to be your beneficiary. They just want to make sure that from a liable standpoint that she understands her rights. Anyway, and nobody's fault.
That's good.
People like when nobody's at fault. But if you try to come up against him, sir, I really need. I mean, unless you're like just ready, either one for a fight or gifted speech level 100. It's better just to exit stage left. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
And come back, and then when you come back, everything's all cool.
Yeah, as soon as I was getting ready to start talking, I was like,
and so here's the reality. Ready? I'm about to give you a gift. Here we go. You ready? It's now company policy. I'm your boss. I just told you. So now you can't do it. There you go. You don't have to make it up. I just made it for you. It's now policy. You'll get in trouble. I'll be really mad. Is that good? Does that make sense, Nick? Almost like Nick met with somebody that's big.
Most likely Joseph's fault.
All right, so that was so you got that one there. We could dig into the finer points of that appointment, but honestly, if the stage is not set, it's almost there's no reason to even get into it. I mean, it's just not. I mean, because it's not the right environment. Environment is what sells. This is why we don't meet people at their work. Like, it's not the right environment. Can you do it? Sure. Have I done it? Should I? Hell no. It's the exception, not the rule. And eventually you're going to get good, you're going to get cocky, and but it's, I got this. And I can say as many times as I have that over the last 11 years, the percentage is extremely low that actually win that situation. And I made this, I mean, there's this, anyway, you shouldn't do it. And because environment sells. And so we need the right environment. We need the right place, and we need the right people. People plus place equal environment. Okay? All right.
Now, Chris, when it's just the one leg, it just becomes all about price, right?
Yeah, how are you going to edify somebody that's not there? How can you edify the person you're talking to in their spouse or mate's eyes if they're not there? Because remember, especially in husband and wife, we're always trying to do two things. We want to stroke a man's ego and make a woman emotional. When you can do those together, which is why the edification part is so important after we get their why on the table. Because remember, it's small talk, why, edify, it rhymes. Small talk, why, edify, budget, close. That's the whole process of an in-house presentation.
And it's just as important for the spouse to hear you do those things?
It's more important.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
So watch this. So these guys are a real couple.
Can you say that again? So us.
small talk, why?
Oh, it goes through the pattern of a
Yeah,
in-house.
small talk.
So it's small talk, why, edify, budget, close. In each one of those, I used to leave close out of it, but I started putting it in because there is some skill to closing. A lot of it, I mean, there's some, it's not crazy hard. People don't understand it, or they don't know it, or they're not aware of it. Closing is actually pretty simple. It's a lot of, it's reading them a little bit when we get to the close and say, if they're hemming and hawing, there's a few phrases you can use, like, and I'll clap too, say, you know what? Like, this is on purpose. Like, it's, you know what? Why don't we do this? They're basically like, okay, what should we do? Would it make sense? Because I don't tell people stuff, I ask questions. Would it make sense maybe if we start off with the lowest one here, just to see if we get medical approval? And then if we do, we can always bump it up later. Listen to this question. Does it make sense to start off cheap and then go from there? Yeah. What state were you born in? That's a close. That was closing technique.
You just roll right into the.
A closing technique is all about getting them to take action. All right. And so I'll tell you, like, if they're like, I'm like, you know what? Why don't we do this? Hands up in the air. Why don't we do this? Open now. I'm open to suggestion. Is what I'm communicating there. So that means, like, I'm telling you, but this is telling your brain that I'm open to suggestion. Like, it's seriously, it's crazy. Like, why don't we do this? Would it make sense? Yeah. And then when they say yes, they just took all the words out of my mouth and it became theirs, and they now own it. And they're telling me what to do in that moment. And I'll go, genius. Yeah. I don't necessarily say that. That's kind of just like that. That's kind of like, you ever hear Brance at the end of the, like, you were at the boot camp, right? He always said, what's this close at the very, like, this is part of his closing technique. That's what I was thinking. That's kind of what I was thinking too. It's huge. You can use that.
I've used that.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
used it after calling you, I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like when you say,
When we're doing the phone, like the dance where I'm on the phone and you're calling me,
yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking too. Same thing. But it's going to feel better because it was cool. I was like, oh, cool. It makes me feel good that we were thinking the same thing. Imagine what it's like when you tell your client. That's kind of what I was thinking too. And almost like smile and nod your head in approval. And you're the expert. And I'm like, yeah.
Stay in the morning.
Yeah. Mine is, do you have your, I always do this. Do you have your driver's license? This is, do what state you're on. Whatever, I don't care. But there is a skill set that is closing, and that's closing. It starts with the whole, out of these three, they'll touch it. They touch it, it's over. Yeah. Which, if we can get you approved for one of these, what would make the most sense for you? Not only like cover the need, but more importantly, like budget wise. Now, if you hem and haw to them, you know what? Why don't we do this? That's a close. It's a closing technique. Is that making sense?
Yeah, that's good.
So, yep.
Now I got, when you get to that point, it's a long pause what causes them to be like, well, I'm going to take this and I'm going to think about it. I'm going to call my uncle and my financial guy. I'm going to check online. Is that too long of a pause?
No, I was about to show you how you still do the same thing. Like, dude, role play your deal there.
Well, just leave this here with me now that I saw the prices.
Now watch my head. What am I doing?
And I'm just gonna call you back, like probably like next week. I'm gonna talk to my daughter and my son and my nephew.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna check.
You know what might make sense? What if we, just to see if we can get medically qualified, why don't we start off with the expensive one? If it goes through after you talk to your family, if y'all want to increase it, then we can always increase it. But I'm thinking it might not make a lot of sense to like put a lot of money into this before we even know if you're medically approved. Would that be better? Like, or would you like maybe to start off cheap and then have the option to increase it after you talk to your family?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. But see, you never phased me. And this is where a rookie will get choked up or like, I'm losing the sale. So you're not out of the house yet.
Yeah.
We're just warming up. I mean, I'm like, yeah. Because a lot of people, like what a rookie will do, they'll tense up, they'll take a deep breath, they'll adjust in their chair. I'm like a freaking puppy dog. I'm like, yeah, no, that's good. You know what else might make sense? Or you know what makes, and you tell me. And I just give them give them a great reason to choose the cheapest. Here's the reality. They're never going to upgrade. I know this, they know that. But I'm giving them a reason. In fact, let me see if we can get this a little cheaper even, so we can just get the medical part, and then we'll know what we're dealing with. You want me to see if I can, like, maybe, would it be better to start even a little cheaper than this?
That's how you save it.
Okay. Do you have,
Yeah.
you have your driver's license? You get that, and I'm going to get the final start price real quick. You can get your driver's license for me. And we're moving. But I was never freaking out. I was nodding the whole time. Yeah, I'm rooting them on. Hell yeah, think about it. That's a great idea. Right? Instead of going, shoot. You're like, what am I going to do? Agree with them. We never do this in home. We always do this. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
I got another one.
Team bobblehead. Wait, do you have another question? Are you? Because this is your time right now.
I had a kind of weird situation for a lead that had no number on it, so I just ended up driving by.
Yeah.
But it was a retirement.
Couldn't get in the gate.
No, I got in, but
No, I scaled that son of a bitch.
her door,
Yeah,
her door just said like napping or whatever. But I was thinking about going back. But does that have to do with anything like them in a retirement like community or anything like that? Nothing, just the same old.
They have a signature on the piece of paper that they request information on. I think you got full rights to go.
Okay.
You're good
It
there.
was just weird because I'm never like.
So next time you don't get a number, look at the top left-hand corner of your lead.
OP.
Opportunity means it's free.
Mm.
So you didn't pay anything for it, so why not? Bonus round. Let's go. Chop chop.
It was just kind of weird.
Whitepages.com. Get you some. Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with going by there.
Okay.
No, you're fine. And there's a good script for that too. Do you know it?
Mm.
Would you like to?
I would love to.
Let's do it. And so this is my lead. Like, here's the door. The door. Are you Will?
Yeah,
Look what I'm doing with my paper. Right? Are you Will?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, I'm Chris. I'm with the Senior Benefits Center. I guess this. It looks like maybe you had fit this in, didn't have the phone number on it. Our office asked me, they knew I'd be out helping some other seniors today, if I'd be willing to come by and get you the information you requested. This is your signature, though, right?
Looks like it.
Okay, well, take a look. I don't want to be giving wrong information out.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, that's it. Got commitment, right? Okay. Do you have a couple? Let me see real fast. So get your lead back.
Yeah, I was taking mine too.
Nick struggled with that for a while. They grabbed the lead and shut the door.
I know my lead.
Let me see that real quick. That's little egg. And you like, let me see that real quick.
Trying to get it back.
That move, watch. Do it one more time. Let me see that real quick. Then you gotta leave that. Okay. You have a couple minutes now, or it's like I'm gonna be in the area for another couple hours. Now's good for me if it's okay for you. Because the last thing I say I want is what I want to happen. Now, if I say we can do it now, or if later's better, which one would you like me to say?
Later.
It's because of the way I say it.
Ah, when you say last.
Yeah, and intonation of your voice too. All right. So get your lead back.
I never heard that. I never
I feel like
heard
this is
steal their
directed to
lead.
you.
Really?
You say my
To his
lead.
credit, he submitted 12,000 so far.
Yeah.
Just give him that
Dang, that's great.
time.
What do you even do? You just
What do you do if somebody steals your lead?
You gotta look
Just walk away.
right?
Do you report it to the police? Seems weird.
If they take your lead, you're not making the sale. You're not getting in the house.
He was like, he threw his hands there. He's like, I can print another one. Muttering to himself as he walks away.
Knock, knock. Hey, I ain't got another one. Check it out. Now we each got one.
They take it.
Now we each got one.
Keep taking him until he run out of friends. There's this comedy sketch or something. Okay. What else?
Hey, I feel myself.
Hey. We're basically making fun of Nick.
No, I sit here.
That seat's still open?
Yeah, it's open.
Oh, man.
I offered at least, but she got it. I think she has her own. What is that noise? Is that my computer? Oh, some Alexa.
Holmes calling you. That's important. I mean, she's not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Okay. For me, let's see. Going over like the budget for them, how you like get the information out of them, or lead into it after you've done the why. That's kind of a tough. Actually, I honestly haven't even gone over it with them. I just going into it. So.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's pretend I'm a single dad. You're selling to me. I'm a single dad, so it's okay. My wife's not here. Because when they're single, there's not. That's a totally different dynamic, right? Do single people buy cars? Yeah. Do they do it with a consultant or ex-wife? No. So you're okay. They're just it's a litmus test. All right. So I'm a single guy. I'm raising kids, so I need this covered, right? Let's go through let's finish up the why. I'm just, I'll make it real easy for you. In fact, you just say, why do you want this coach? I'm gonna give you like a purpose.
So why do you want this?
So let me strengthen that just a teeny bit for you. If you'll take the piece of paper and touch it and say, when you were filling this out, yeah, what are you kind of thinking about it? It's different for different people. Some people see a car commercial, or some people see some bad accident on the news, some friend or family just died. I don't know what it is. What were you kind of thinking about? And then after they tell you what they were thinking about, yeah, well, it just if something happened to me, what's going to happen? They're going to say something like that. Okay. What would happen if we didn't have this here? Do you have any like other assets in place that could cover? I mean, what would this help you with? What's it look like if we didn't have this? Just paint the negative first, and then you get to be their own hero. Okay. And I guess if you had something in place, none of that. What would be a better scenario? Kids go to college. Like, well, I mean, is that what you're? Like, so you're asking? Is that what you're kind of thinking? Like, you can make suggestions as long as you. It sounds stupid, but as long as you kind of form it into like a question, it's way more powerful.
Is there like,
Yeah, so you can. Yeah, because you're trying to understand. Like you want to understand them. Sometimes, would you believe that some people that aren't used to sales and talking have a hard time putting words together? Would you say that most people are like that? I think so. So I'm okay with helping them get the words together. I call it leading the witness. At the same time, I know I have to make it a question, otherwise it's worthless to me. There's no ammo there. So if I want to say, do you want this because you want your babies raised up, not have to suffer, go to college? I don't want to tell them that because that can be insulting. So you need this, so you're like, listen to the difference. So you need this because you don't want so you need this so your kids don't suffer and they can go to college. You need this, or you need this so your kids can't go to college, or so your kids can go to college. Versus when you were thinking about this, you just trying to avoid like a situation where the kids grow up without like having, or you don't want them to have to want for anything or need for anything, or is college, is that important to you too? Oh, this is big one right now. You about to say the word yes. I get 3 yeses in a row. Game on.
It was hard for you to say the wrong thing.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm saying myself. Did you notice that? Of course, the auditor over here notices. You're going to be ridiculous. She's one of those.
Yeah, she's one.
Yeah. This is our other. You got a club there.
Oh, right,
It's the Otter
right.
Club. There's a Lion Club. This is the
Lion
Club. Here's a lion. Lisa, did you ever hear this famous lion phone call when I was early training him?
No.
So he's calling this lady.
Oh wait, I think I told her. I think I ruined this.
Oh, I like telling the story.
Okay,
That's
good,
fine.
Every time.
We tell this story at dinner a lot of times. So I had this guy. No, he was calling this lady, and she was, because lions, as you know, like to win the conversation. Like it's all on, game on. I don't care what we're gonna do. We're gonna get it, or we're gonna go down swinging. And so this lady says, "Oh no, I'm kind of, I think I got something going. I was diagnosed with cancer, and I've got chemotherapy later that day." He's sitting there nodding his head. Okay, yeah, I'm real busy too, but do you? That's lying.
We all got problems. Yours is chemo, mine's scheduling.
Yeah. Hey, lady, listen. We've all got problems. I got 99 right now. You're one of them. I was hoping.
I didn't book it.
Yeah. Surprisingly. So Taylor, the golden retriever, Chris the otter, look at each other and horrific. Like, I'm thinking from the angle, Taylor's about to cry because she cares. She's golden. You know, I'm just like thinking, oh, like I'm positioning. Oh, wow. That's horrible.
I caught her today.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you ask how the chemo was going?
Yeah. Hey, how you feeling? You know, I talked to you before. Feeling any better?
You got it booked out.
Yeah. She was like, you know, did they ever take the breath? You ever get taken care of? She's like, yeah. Somebody take me. I'm take care.
Somebody wasn't so mean.
Yeah.
Scared. Scared.
All right.
I guess they weren't as busy.
Back to our
Right.
Okay. So we're gonna strengthen the why. Your question was specifically how do we get the budget from that. Transitioning to budget is a lot easier when you have a good why on the table. One sets the whole thing is like stacking up. Like it's easier and easier if you do the last step. It's like we close. What a lot of times is people are really rocky through some of their early steps and then they try to close and it doesn't work out and they're like wondering why. because they didn't have good small talk, which is rapport, didn't have a solid why on the table, were not sensitive to the budget, and then they tried some cheap ass closing line that didn't work for them, right? And so one builds on top of the other. So good small talk about anything. For older people, you're their grandson. For a little bit younger, you're their son. If they're same age, you're their brother. So you're talking. Interests, sports, college, school. Girls. It's just
All right.
That's been pretty easy.
I imagine that part. I really do. I could see that just based on every time you call me, everybody's talking and laughing and stuff. So I feel like you've got that now. The why?
The whys.
So like you're saying, how do I transition the budget? But in my mind, I think the real,
You need to build up the why.
let's build that why up a little bit, because it's the more difficult of the two. Now, in the latest version of the ATM, it does have something called insurable interest, and it's a crutch for people that have a difficult time with the why. And so if you're using the ATM down at the bottom, after you get all that stuff on the about you, it's a Columbo move. You literally said, it says insurable interest right across the bottom. So you're getting all their stuff, going through, getting some personal information about them, what kind of coverage they have, 401ks, yada, yada, health, kids, all that, right? That's in there. And at the very bottom, you get to the, so I'm okay with you using this. And I think it's a good technique. I don't think it's not as powerful if you can get it out without it. And so what I mean is so here's the insurable interest line. It's like, in the insurance company, they make us document they call it an insurable interest, and you're shaking your head like some stupid legal term. They call it insurable interest, but all it really means is why you want the coverage. And this will sound crazy, but the more emotional you make it, the stronger your case is for it. When you bought this, or when you sent this in, so you can stage it with that, but I like it if you could say that whole preamble about, it's different for everybody. Sometimes people were watching TV and they saw a car accident on the news. Sometimes somebody in their family just died. I don't know what it was for you guys, but when you sent this in, there was a moment you decided to. What was the biggest fear that you thought of? And now we're talking some real language. We're talking heart language. Fear is heart language. Love is heart language, right? I want to protect my family is head language. Logically, I should protect my family. Logically, I agree with you. It's very astute of you. Right? What were you scared of? Oh, shoot. Yeah. What were you scared of when you sent this in? Awkward silence when you're looking contemplatively. Seriously, though.
Is it okay to have a long pause there while they're thinking about
See, they're going to talk. Just like you did with me. And you laugh. It's good, though. It's okay. You just got to be confident in yourself more than anything. But here's the easy way to get a why. Be sincere. Give a shit. Care. That's how you get a why out. It's not all smoke and mirrors tricks. That's one area that golden retrievers, if they learn this properly, are going to kill the rest of our personality types because they genuinely care. So make sure you care. There's a reason. And I'll tell you this, if we fail to uncover it, we're probably not going to be able to help that family. And then we're going to leave that buried fear that you didn't get to nagging at them. It's like it's our fault when we don't get to the end of it. Can we help everybody? No. Do doctors heal every patient? No. They lose some. But we're going to try to help as many as we can. And these are the techniques that we use to do it. That makes sense. But care about them and say, well, when you sent this in, so practice on me. I can do this all day, but I need your words. So let's have it. So make me cry. I'm a single dad. I got kids at home.
Okay. So when you sent this in, what was going on through your mind? Do you want your kids to be taken out? I start thinking about it too much, and then
That's why I want you practicing it. Mm-hmm. People love to listen to hot seats, and they love to hear other people talk. But very few people actually try to practice what they said. It's one of the reasons he's so damn good. Brant, that's someone who practices out loud a lot. That's all he does. He just practices it. I've always practiced. I'm the crazy guy in the car to practice a phone script down the road. Still. Like, people are like, seriously? Yeah, still. Before I jump on the phone, ring, ring, I start saying it to myself first, and then I jump on the phone.
Should do that.
Yeah. I mean, works for me.
I'm trying to think of what, like,
So let me give you my belly out a little bit. You sounded good. You sounded more sincere just then before you got lost a little bit, before you started, kind of bailing out on it. You could have even stopped there. Like, you can start simple as long as you're asking the questions. A why doesn't have to be drawn out for 30 minutes. It can be quick, but you better uncover it. Then you better use hard words. So try it again.
use the paper.
Yeah.
You want to lead?
Change your body language.
You want to real lead?
No. Okay, so when you filled this out, what was going on through your mind with what you want to do with this?
Okay, try it again. What you want to do with this? I don't like that
that's
language.
like-
But I like, and don't keep sliding the paper. That's suspicious.
Just like,
Touch it, like it's like reverend it. Like, there you go.
I give the my policy paper.
Oh my gosh.
Not yet. We don't do that yet.
Yeah. Okay. So when you filled this out, what was going on through your mind?
Okay, really better.
Yeah.
Now, let's take this step further. Let's throw a few suggestions in here. Just remember, so can you remember this? I know it's different for everybody.
Write it out.
Okay. You can write it. It's different. I know it's different for everybody. Some people see a car commercial or see like the news. Hey, can you get Michael? You should be listening to this. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Shoot. Tell him. All right, do it again.
Okay.
I think you're gonna get it right here.
So when you filled this out, what was going on through your mind? Some people see like.
Say it's different. I know it's different for everybody. Say that right. Say that right.
So I know it's different for everybody, but some people see like a car crash or loved one passed away. What was going on through your mind?
What was it for?
What was it for you?
You. What was it for you? Thank you. What was it for you? All right, do it again. Yeah, you can start messing with me.
I got up.
So when you filled this out, what was going on through your mind? I know it's different for everybody. Some people see a car crash or loved one passed away. What was it for you?
Wow.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, bro.
Perfectly paused and everything.
Yeah, that was
Really
good.
The way he touched the paper, it was soft. It was good.
Yeah.
Steven's crying. All right, so you ready for the next evolution? Yeah. Here we go. All right, so ask me that question again. I'm actually going to give an answer.
Okay. So when you filled this paper out, what was going on through your mind? I know it's different for everybody. Some people see like a car crash or a loved one pass away. What was it for you?
I don't know. I got to thinking the other day. I mean, I'm a single dad and have kids. I want to make sure that if something happens to me, they're protected.
That's awesome. See if more people are like that.
Okay, stop.
Oh.
Good. She caught it. You took a head answer. Protect is head. That's not a hard word. Protect is a head word. So you're nodding, but now you've got to dig a little deeper. Gotta go deeper. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. What's that mean when you say protected? You can just ask a clarifying question. I like the shaking the head. Dead on. Dead on.
Yeah, it was a good shape.
It was a good shake.
It really
It really was.
Very sincere.
Yeah, I was just saying, okay, when you say protect, describe that for me. What are some things that you don't want to happen? What are some things you would like to happen? Some people say paint me a picture. What's it look like when you did? But let's start simple. We don't have to go to the whole paint me a picture artist thing. So, okay. what is that when you say protected? A lot of times what I do is I think the last word that they say and I just ask them about it. So let's do it again. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Get you selling. I'm get you selling.
So when you filled this paper out, what was going on through your mind? I know it's different for everybody. Some people see car crashes or.
I'm gonna pause you for a second. You're getting so familiar with this, you're speeding up.
And
I liked it before because it was more thoughtful. Now you're just getting comfortable.
Yeah,
You're like, hey, when you send this in, I mean, it's like, whoa, hey, easy, jockey.
yeah.
There's power in when you slow down a little bit. There really is. Go ahead, do it again.
So when you filled this out, what was going on through your mind? I know it's different for everybody. Some people see a car crash or loved one passed away. What was it for you?
Damn, your head nod was good too. His head went up and then it went down on you. Perfect. Good. Can't teach that stuff. That's natural. Good. All right. I'm not exactly sure. I just, I guess something. I must have seen something. But I was just thinking, something were to happen to me. I just want to make sure that my kids are protected.
So when you say protected, what do you
Okay.
mean?
So you have a chance to give me an edification here.
My
So edification is not the one big thing at the end. It's throughout. So the head nod is a partial. Means you're agreeing with me. All you have to do is the simple word. Good. Good. Okay. Now, help me understand. When you say protected, what does that mean for you? It's very simple. Okay. Good. Good. Now help me understand. When you say protected, because I'm not sure, and I don't assume to know. I'm not saying that. I don't say that. That's what I want you to think. Don't assume you know what protected means. Okay. When you say protected, what does that mean to you? It is intense. Yeah. It needs to be. This is serious.
Yeah.
Right? Whoever has to take care of them, probably my sister-in-law, I guess. I just don't want her to have to struggle, and I want the kids to make sure they can, they can do what they want to get through childhood, I guess. Not being, I don't want them to be a burden to somebody.
I'm not going into those food. Would you dig deeper for that, or would that be enough? Or
You could. Like it's like we were protected. Now I don't want them to be a burden. Getting heavier words. Burden is starting to be a hard word. Burden. I mean, if you think about it, right?
Or somebody says like I'm scared of.
Scared's huge hard word. Good God, that's massive. Scared, love, fear. These are all hard words, right? So you could go. It could go one step deeper there. That's awesome. Where does that come from? Not because I hear people. Not every dad feels like you do. What makes you different? Get ready to shine. I don't know. I just always want to make sure I'm a good dad. Holy shit! Now we're just like, I want to be a good dad. So just in your gut, when you hear me say, "I want to be a good dad," is that head talk or heart talk? All heart. That's right. We're after the heart. We don't care about the head. We're selling annuities. We talk more about the head. But right now, we're trying to get to the heart. And now, I want to be a good dad. What do you say?
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Here's what I do. Ready? Because I'm leaned in. All right. Let's say it was you. All right, and just say the words. I want to be a good dad. And try not to cry when you say it.
I just want to be a good dad.
Dude, that's awesome. And there's touch.
Oh,
That's awesome. Okay. I got it. It's important to you. This is the trend. I'm answering your question. It took me all that to answer your question.
the why is important.
It's ridiculously important, and this part doesn't make sense without it. Budget is built on why. Okay. All right. So it's gonna do. Seriously, that's awesome. I think if America had more people thinking like that, I think we'd be better off as a society. That's awesome. All right, clap transition. So I'm like, here we go. Okay, well, it's clearly important to you, but I also know, but budget's got to be important too, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. is there, and it's okay if you don't, but do you, is there like a number, not even like the face amount, like how much the policy's worth, but is there a number monthly that you just don't or can, or just that you don't want to go over, and I'm doing this with my hand, and you're like every month? Now understand here, if I rush through the why, less likely to be honest and transparent with me here. Because people will always, I'll hear people say, I just couldn't get a budget out of them. I'm like, you didn't get a why out of them. You can't get a budget without a why. And and a lot of people think they fail here. They usually fail here or here. It's like one doesn't, like if you do this right, this one opens up. If you do this right, this one opens up. It's like keys, okay, going through the channels, if you will. Okay. And so you get it. So is there like, is there like a number you don't want to be over? Like I know you probably have your budget and like certain things. So I don't know if you've even given any thought to protecting your family. Not about this, not about this payment. I don't even know if you've given a thought about protecting your family. Because that's heart language. This is budget language. It's logical, right? That's head knowledge. Yeah. You know, I don't even know if you've thought about like how much, you know, to protect your family. But is there a number like you can't? Because I don't want to be. Here's what I don't want, Will. I don't want to get you approved for something that like 6 months down the road.
To use their names.
Yeah, that just it's going to be too much for you. You know, like because life happens. You get in a car wreck or the house leaks. You got to get your roof fixed. I don't want you having to decide between your roof and your family.
Oh.
So is there a number? Family's a heart word. Is there a number you just don't want to be over? Because I want to build it around that.
It's like,
Now, don't tell me, say, gosh, I have no idea. And be sincere. Okay. Well, if you say 100 again, I mean, now I'm gonna do 60. I'm gonna do 100. I'm gonna do 120. I'm always gonna put what you say in the middle.
I do.
What's that?
I do. I think I got that from you.
Yeah, it's a good technique. Now, if they don't come up with anything, say.
you look at like,
So do that. Let's roast, because I teach best by role playing. Say,
I don't even
no idea.
I don't know.
Closer to 10 or closer to 500?
I guess closer to 10.
10? Okay. A lot of people, this is just herd mentality. A lot of people about your age, it's somewhere between like 65 and 85. But are those numbers completely out of the question, or is that close? Because like I can start there and we can kind of look at it. Does that work? 65 to 85 is the range, dude. It really, truly is. I've studied these numbers for 10 years. I know the national average is 85. In the Southeast, it's 65. I promise you. I averaged for years. I averaged it every single week, and it was always almost exactly $65 is the average. So I say somewhere between like 65 and so I say what most people about your age are spending, because I'm putting them into a group that makes them feel safe. What most people about your age are spending is around anywhere between like $65, $85. Now, are those numbers? Is that like over here, or is that you want to start around that?
We can start around that.
Okay. And then I'm telling you though, treat me like I'm your family. I know we just met, but if I put a number down, it's just too high. Kick me, slap me. I don't care. I'd rather you say, no, that's too high, Chris, instead of something crazy like I want to think about it, which everybody needs to know.
Yeah.
I'm proud of saying that. I know it rolls off of my tongue, but.
Wait, was that part of like the role playing? Was that real? Like, because I know everybody says no.
Oh, it's real.
You say that?
Yeah.
That means no.
Because when's the best time to cover an objection?
Before it happens.
So I say the words instead of saying something silly like you want to think about it.
They're not gonna go.
Now I'm just programmed. If they say the word, they say I think about it, they think they're silly.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying something silly like you want to think about it, I'd rather you tell me just be honest and tell me so we can make sure that we do get you covered. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because Landry, you probably agree with me. Something is probably better than nothing at all. Okay.
The hands.
And the nods.
And the nods. So this is being recorded. So what I'd like you to do when I post it is specifically for our session, I want you to go back and rehearse some of these. Okay. Because what will happen is you'll get comfortable with the rehearsing, and then you'll be able to naturalize it. Because you're learning this very quickly. Like you are. I'm watching you eat it up. But the part that I can't do for you is practice. That's you. You have to do that. I can't. That's all you. All right. Has this been helpful?
Definitely.
All right, give Will a hand, everybody. Let's do you next real quick. And James, you got some too?
Oh, I got a couple things, if that's okay.
Yeah. Let me hit him real quick.
Yeah.
So I gotta get him. He's on a mission to get a couple people here tonight.
He's on a mission to get.
He's gotta pull an Andy Brittle. All right, do you have your activity book? Shoot, go get it.
Run. Jump
While
fun.
he's doing that, do you have anything quick, or is it product stuff, or is it sales segment?
I just kind of wanted to go through my day, kind of what happened, because I changed a couple things, and I want to see
Some more scheduling,
Yeah, well, I
momentum
mean,
type
just,
thing.
well, yeah, like at the appointments, or how I went about it. But we can wait.
Okay, yeah, we'll wait. I'll definitely help.
I don't think I'll take
All right, come on in here, Nick.
But a lot of what you went over, it was kind of part of mine too, so.
Hang on 1 second.
Is that an odd future shirt? Shirt, is that odd future?
No.
That's what they have.
Did not see him on the call. What was getting real last night? Sorry.
Just
like
donut man, don't overthink it.
I like it. I just know their brand. Donuts is what they do.
Oh, that's freaking sweet.
Yeah, that's how they like brand themselves. So
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Start with that. Like, you have any idea how many leads you took last week?
Oh man.
Yeah, I know you're building. You're like in your second. No, that was your first week.
Last
of
week I
DMR.
think I got 13 or 20.
Okay.
Either 13 or 20.
All right. Let's roll through the numbers. How many dials?
310.
310. All right. And what was your contacts?
20, 22.
So 310 dials, 22 contacts. How many appointments? Why are there 2 more pages, bro?
Cause that's just how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, they have.
Like it's.
I've said I kind of set it up.
Oh, really? It is like that?
Yeah,
It's
like
starts
in the
late,
middle of
starts
the week.
on
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I got you.
14.
So 22 contacts, 14 appointments. You got some multis in there, multi-A's that you were talking to, the old leads?
Yeah, I think I only booked one easier.
All right, so you're, because I mean, if you're with newer leads, yeah, you'll have a higher percentage there, but you're starting to get into like what you did today. How many appointments are you sitting at right now? As you just walked in here today?
I'm sitting at 10
10,
off of.
and you got 12 A leads today, right? You got 10 appointments.
Yeah,
You actually have 12 appointments, you said, right?
I have 12 appointments. Taylor booked 2 of them.
So you're 12 new A leads, 12 appointments so far. All right. Phone script's going to be fine. All right. Shift back. Out of the contacts, how many appointments did you get? Or out of the appointments that you set up, out of the 14 appointments, how many sits last week? So out of 14, 7 showed, so about 50%. That's been consistent for you. And it's about 50% show rate. What do you think, even in your own self-assessment, give me an idea of what you think's going on with the no-shows? I would like to see that number come up. I'm not horribly disappointed in it. It's not as good as it could be.
I think it's terrible. I started adding, like today at the end of my script, I just started asking where they were from. Like, where are you from? I hear a little accent.
That's probably gonna help.
And then I was asking harder questions. Like, man, I got a GPS, but is there any other things?
Okay, let's keep an eye on that. Let's not dig into that right now, but let's watch.
But I think that
Let's watch your percentage this week. So we're at 50% this week. Let's see what it is next week when we review again. Okay. All right, cool. And then out of the 7 that you sat down with, 1 sale? Okay. So obviously, I mean, I know you and I have talked a lot, but let's, based on what I was coaching Will on what are some things you could change based on last week that you think, or just in some of the counseling that we've done so far? Like, why did you miss 6 appointments out of 7? Because generally, I mean, you're better than that.
Yeah. I rescheduled 3.
All right, so
another
now we're
one-
down. So 3 of them you did not sit with.
Well, I sat with them. I sat with one of them.
But a reschedule
It
is
was a
not,
one leg, so I rescheduled it.
I don't count that as a sit. So are we down to, so you said 7, but 3. So now we're down to 4 actual sit downs and 1 out of 4.
Yeah. So
Better ratio. It's 25% instead of really bad. What do you think's going on? All right, so based on what you heard, we can go through your appointments. I mean, we can start with the very first one that you missed. That'll be a good review. We did it all over the phone, so it's better to do it in person.
Oh, the Mutual Omaha.
So I don't care about that one so much.
The first one that I missed.
Please, it's good to hear that one. He got on the phone. This lady had a living promise sold to her. She has AIDS. I'm like, it's not going to pay. Somebody sold it to her, right? So he calls the company. And while Nick's sitting there trying to, he just wanted to ask to make sure, just to prove to her that it's not going to pay. Lady on the phone undercuts him and sells him a guaranteed issue product.
Oh my God.
Took it right out from underneath him. So that
Tell
was,
Brent about that.
I'm going to. And then going to copy Andy on it. Too.
Yeah.
And it's the only company that will undercut. They'll do that. They just basically took Andy and everybody else out of the mix and went right to. We couldn't touch the price.
It was crazy. It was like
I mean, Nick was like, "Oh,
10,000 for like 30 bucks." I was like, I quoted like 130, and they quoted like 30. I was like,
well done."
Yeah, we can't touch it, but yeah.
Yeah, but we went through all the effort of finding them.
Right.
All that, the money we spent on the lead system. You know what it reminds me of? Remember when, before we had Chris Norris, and we'd go to a bank and try to get a gold medallion signature?
Yeah.
And the bank would say excuses for a minute, they'd bring their guy in and steal
Yep.
the annuity.
Yep.
This is our own partners, though.
Right.
This is,
Right. To keep it G-rated, I would talk to
all right.
I didn't know Lisa was capable of that.
Yeah, G rating.
Lisa has grown a lot.
I have.
All right. So let's not talk about that one. Yeah. You're rarely going to hear me say that one's not your fault.
But that's good to know that could happen.
Which is why I'm bigger. I almost want to go just CFG for final expense now.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
our own damn business partner.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Give me the next one.
The next lady, she didn't really want me there. But I was just trying to build small talk. I started building the why, and then she said she didn't feel good and walked away. I went next week.
All right.
I asked her because she was talking about cooking, and I was breaking down her budget. I was like, "How much do you spend on
Were you in the house or outside the house, or
outside?"
you were outside?
We were sitting on like a deck at a table.
Did she recognize her signature on the form and all?
It was a Speedly.
Oh, it was.
Speedly.
Did it have a code word on it?
I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Did she remember?
She remembered vaguely. She was kind of off mentally,
Mentally. All right.
like kind of out of it. So she was very negative. Like I was like, "How long have you lived here?" "Too long." It's a nice day. Could be better. And then I remember how we were talking about her budget or something. I asked about her son. She said her son cooks. I was like, "Oh, it's his turn. Like I'm sure you did your fair share." She was like, "I don't feel good. I have to call me next week."
Lisa, you got anything there?
I mean, I think matching and mirroring goes a long way. We just did a little bit of this on the phone too,
Yeah.
right? I mean, we're very positive people, I think, as a company, but sometimes
Ooh.
people are more comfortable when you're as negative as they are.
Yeah.
I have to fake it sometimes because it's not natural.
Good point.
Really?
Yeah.
And so
That's
so
good
when,
insight, Lisa. Thank you.
when she said, the day could be better, I just agree with everybody.
You're so right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? My day does suck.
I don't feel good. That's funny. I don't feel good today either. Must be something going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. People do want to be angry, but
And it's almost like edifying them too at the same time.
Yeah.
Means you're like agreeing with
Like,
them.
yeah.
exactly.
You're so smart. This is a
We're in this
day.
together.
I hate this place.
We're talking this is real.
Okay.
Hey, bud. Sorry, you know.
Yeah, you can tell about the call that you listened to and how we overcame that one and booked it with the lady that was very negative.
Yeah, what happens?
Oh wait, which one? There's
If I
two
had a
negative.
husband, I would
So
have
how
put his
should I
name on
handle
there.
Oh yeah.
Just being rude.
Yeah, she's just being rude. She kind of like laughed it off, and then she was like, when she started laughing, then that's when she like let loose.
That's probably what I'll do.
It was like laughter is kind of like a good
When people
connector.
are super mean,
No.
to me, I just laugh.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like,
Because if you get up in arms, then they're gonna be like up in arms back. If you're
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
You just
yeah,
laugh,
you're
like,
right.
whatever.
If you did have a husband, he'd be on this paper.
Stupid me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure. That's easy.
Cannot believe she sold them over time. That's ridiculous.
Oh,
But-
yeah. No, I was on the phone with them, and I hung up. I was like, "Here's the number."
I'll get
Walked
I'll
out.
get that corrected.
I was gonna help her.
Yeah.
That's an overt statement.
Oh my gosh.
It was just honest.
I didn't even think they could
It was
do
on your
that.
phone?
Huh?
They were talking to her?
Yeah, on my phone.
Oh.
Because I was like, "Oh no!" Like I was like, "No, we actually don't have that one." She was like, "No, it's fine. I can actually sign one through the phone." Like, it was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
It won't be that.
Dang, on your phone, bro, that is low.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Sit
I was
there
gonna
and
wonder
Yeah, like, what do you want me to do?
Oh my.
I did say
God,
this.
she didn't want to be there, like she had something.
Oh well, first.
Oh.
Okay.
Maybe she was
Any
new.
response from it, people like it except for
You get one word answers.
That's
Ask
crazy.
questions that don't require a yes or no,
Yeah, I'll text him about that too.
right?
No, listen,
He likes it.
So now, tell me about your kids.
Even those were.
Do you have
cool.
kids? Yes.
All right. Okay. I'll send
Well,
it
I said,
out.
I said, how many kids do you have? And she said,
Okay.
whatever, and then I asked
All right, buddy.
her,
I'm on it.
what do they?
All right, later.
What
All
do
right,
they,
bye.
what do they have? And she was just like real brief with it.
Yeah.
I was like,
When
"Oh,
people are that
something-"
short, I ask questions that require that they talk more.
Instead of like a one word,
Yeah.
like, how old are they? 3. You know.
And she was just so cool that she was like, oh, he lives in Chicago and he lives here.
Oh,
You know, what do they
Chicago's a
do?
great city, though.
It's like, what do they do?
No way, have you been out there?
Chicago's
Did you
got a lot
find her
of
like
kids.
passion, like what she's passionate?
She was passionate about hating everybody.
That's good. That's good.
Well, she was, she had like 5 things wrong. She was bipolar, had PTSD, stage 4 cirrhosis, and pancreatitis.
Other than that, she was all right.
She was just super weird.
Well, she probably doesn't feel good. I mean, she's got a lot of health stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I'm busy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a headache, so it's like the same thing.
Stubbed my toe last week.
Yeah.
And a paper cut, like chemo.
All right. That helps. That is a. I'm not saying that she could have been like you could have flipped around, but at least it's exact.
Try to relate more.
You've got the mirror match thing is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's. I mean, 100%. When I have somebody say that, I guess it's somewhat instinctual of me now. But I'm like, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Kind of like misery loves company.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I
when
try-
we're real positive, when somebody's real negative and we try to combat that with positivity, it almost annoys them.
It's like people
So
are
when-
morning
married.
people, morning people versus people. that
Exactly.
like coffee
What's mad?
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's what I do. I try to like, well, at least you're alive. And then,
No,
No,
that's
you
kind of
can't do that.
You're
No.
dead. Oh my God, such a good comment.
Yeah.
What she said is dead on. That might be part of some of the stuff that you run into.
yeah.
You're trying to be, sunny disposition.
Just trying to be Nick.
Yeah. Right, trying to be Nick. And sometimes you need to be like negative Nick.
I remember
Just fake it.
I called Chris. I don't know what it was about, probably an agent or something years ago. And I'm like, I was so pissed. And he goes, all right, who do we need to kill?
And you're like, yeah.
Now, if he had started this, but you're alive. I didn't know. Okay, John,
You're not about to be.
I'm going to send you no negative.
We're in this together.
Yeah, right.
That's really good advice.
You didn't know it is. All right, I can see it.
One of those days, huh? God, I hate those.
So where you from? What state you from?
And then the next dude, the southern guy, he just kept like jumping at me like, dude, I got these deals right here. Like, look at all these letters. Like, why do I need you? Why do I want you? I was like, dude, I really don't care if you sign with me or not, bro. Like, that's how I was getting.
So he asked you a question. What did you do?
He started controlling it.
Yeah, but what did you do when you said I got all these deals? Why do I need you? What did you say?
I said, you don't.
Why'd you send this in?
That's what he should have said. He should have said
What did
something.
you say?
Why'd you send this in? Why'd you fill this out?
Anytime so, because remember,
Yeah.
people ask questions to either seek knowledge or to do what? You think he was trying to intimidate you with that question or to seek knowledge? Why do I need you? I got all these deals. Why do I need you?
He showed me the letters, and I was just
But
like,
listen to me.
No,
Is that an intimidation question or is that
Intimidation.
it's intimidation? So when we sense intimidation, we never answer. Never. It's a judgment call if we answer on a truly seeking knowledge one. But when they're intimidating or trying to, we never answer their question.
Oh, someone said at the boot camp, whoever asks the most questions dominates the conversation.
Yeah, it's a true one.
That's good.
So why do I need you? I don't know, why do you?
What were you thinking when you filled this out?
I'm short and simple. I'm back. There, John. I don't know. You tell me. Why do you? And then he's going to say something like silly, like I don't. Okay, and now you can ask that.
Okay.
But at first, I'm going to throw a stupid question right back in his face. Why do I even need you? I don't know. Why do you need me? It's like I had a sci-fi reference just now. Nobody's it's like adjusting your shields, and that's the harmonics.
Nope.
Like a kid when you're playing with your sibling.
I don't know. Why do you need me?
I remember when you taught that when people would get there and they'd be like, "Well, what do you got for me?" You would say,
Yeah.
"What do you got for me?"
Yeah.
So they don't make you
We
their.
got dinner going on. You do that, or God, I hope nothing. Something going around.
so I was just like, well, why didn't you get it?
That's a question, at least.
Yeah.
That's just your lion coming out,
Yeah.
and we need your otter up front. When these,
Get defensive.
yeah, lions are gonna get defensive and want to fight. Lions don't mind fighting. Lions don't mind conflict. Unfortunately, conflicts don't sell.
Yeah, they do.
You may feel good afterwards. You're like, that's all that. That's yes, indeed. Later, loser.
Good luck with those.
But this is where you need to embrace. Like I told him, he needs to embrace his inner lion. You need to embrace your inner otter here.
Yeah, for sure.
We will never win a pissing match in the home.
Yeah.
They always will.
They don't work.
They don't. And so
I don't know.
it's a foreign language behind that. But you are high otter too. It's just your dominant side is clearly lion. You're gonna have to restrain from being a smartass, or even using the psychology that I'm teaching you to be a smartass. Because it is fun. I get it.
It's so
It
funny.
really is.
I love it.
And there it is.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not trying to hide it. You've got to roll with the punches a little bit on this one. It's like, I don't know, why do you kind of laugh?
There was a one-legger too.
And so there's your because now, oh my gosh, I don't know, why does he need me?
Oh, are you asking?
Because the wife's gonna say, because he ain't
Yeah,
caught nothing yet. Why ain't you caught nothing yet?
Oh, boom.
See, I can't do that if she's
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah. He was telling me about his wife and stuff, and how he wanted to protect her, and he loves her, and he writes her letters. And I was like, well, why? I was like, why do you want to protect her? I was like, well, so you're getting this fixed income every month. Like, is she gonna get that as well?
Yeah, we can really stop right here because without her, nothing that I coach on is going to get.
That's what I'm saying.
This is a one-legger. It's a one-legger. You should have been there.
He just kept telling me how good of a guy he was, and I was like, you haven't bought nothing yet.
Dude, see
You don't got
that?
nothing yet. You ain't buying
You gotta
nothing.
edify him there. Dang,
Is
that
this
good of
real
a
life?
dude from high school.
You got all those papers there.
Presenting their policies. How much did you love them?
And then he asked me to leave him something too. I was like, you collected them?
Lisa, this is a young cub over here.
Is this
I
real
need-
life?
This is real life. I need to
I
send him to lion school. No, I need to send him to otter school.
I remember you told me, like, I don't know if you would say
Have
this in
fun.
person, but you said pamphlets or whatever. What do people always ask for? Brochures. Brochures don't protect family. And that's the I'm like, bro, you got paper. Like, what?
I'm with, so here's the deal. I need that attitude in your head. I don't need it in your mouth.
A better approach.
I need the attitude in your head.
Okay, what if I said,
Like I've been dealing with this.
Yes, better, first of all, better, right off.
so if I was to leave you a brochure, would that protect your wife?
That's a better question than what you said.
Yeah.
And you asked a question. Are you collecting these? Yeah, you're
That's
laughing.
pretty funny.
That
That's pretty funny.
seems kind of combative.
No, that is
I would
totally.
give, I would put if
I'm just saying it's better.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's not what you say.
Right.
As a
Um,
lion. You know?
there's a couple different ways to
Yes,
say.
but the clients is not.
But I'm saying,
I
if
waited
personalities
until
have
like,
a lion, don't you
I
think
knew
that
he
they
wasn't
think it might be
serious. He just
fun?
wanted to like act.
But
like
now
this.
you know you've got it.
I mean, I get it, 'cause
You
you're like,
should have reset.
One
Kind
leg.
of different at the same time.
All right, so that's two. For the sake of time, we got to keep rolling.
That's up for you. And then the next one. The next one I just walked in,
Yeah,
and the dude was like, "What do you want, man? I'm tired, man. I worked all day." What do you like? I don't really know. You tell me. And he was like, "What is that?" I don't know. I guess like Alexis. I'm guessing you were just trying to make sure you and Kenneth like didn't have to deal with the financial burden or something. Like, you said, is that right? Or they were like, yeah. I was like, why? They were like, well, we got my check and then Kenneth works. So. And you have any like grandkids, kids? They're like, our kids are grown, we have grandkids. I'm like, so I always ask about the grandkids' names, and should I start writing them down because I never remember?
Yeah, except I think he was giving you the most obvious why is husband. If there's a husband and a wife, that's the most obvious why. And if you keep going, like I get the grandkids thing, but that's going to be more small talk stuff. Like it sounds like you're moving into the why right now. Dig into the relationship that matters at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know why I ignored like the husband and wife.
Well, I just don't have anything on her. You got any grandkids? I mean,
That was really
it's
weird.
like you're running and you just jumped right over the why, and you went down to like an ancillary why. Because let me ask you a question: if he dies, who's more impacted, her or the grandkids?
Her, 100%.
So you jumped over her when he gave it to you, and you went down to the grandkids.
Yeah, he wasn't really. He was like, yeah. Remember that one home I tried to build a Y and she just wanted to talk business. That's how he was, and then I got to the point.
But she was there. The wife was right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the wife. So I used the wife a little bit, but he just really wanted to talk business, and she was like, kind of like leaning towards him, I'm like, all right, like he's grumpy. So I was like, all right, like.
So here's what you do: say, I feel like I might be imposing on you guys right now. You want me to come back later? I feel like because I know this is probably. And you tell me, is it important to protect each other?
Yeah.
Let's reschedule.
They were 20% though. Good 20%. They're buying it no matter what. I didn't really say much.
Did they buy it?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, they were just like, I was like, well, the most important thing is like, yeah, you guys seem like you just want to protect each other, but we want to make sure that your budget is protected as well. Because the one thing you don't want to do is have something happen to this house in like 6 months, and then you just.
Do you make eye contact? Because like you're not making eye contact with me right now.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I say the other time I do.
Oh. Just been outed by your significant other.
No, I-
Golden.
She's
Golden. Yeah, Golden became the lion. Bullshit. No, every time we do this, you look around, and if you can learn to develop meaningful eye contact, you're going to connect a lot better.
Yeah, I always say that about Brant. Like, he stares through my soul.
You need to do a little of that. So here's a game I want you to play. As you're talking to people, I want you to try to get their eye color now.
You can make it a game to see how long you can look at them. See, because people look away. But a lot of people don't like making eye contact, so they'll look away. You can see how long you can look at them until they look away. Who looks away first?
But don't
You won't lose.
awkward.
Like,
Yeah, you don't want to be
yeah, you don't want to do this.
Yeah. So are you gonna look like? Because I'm not
You don't,
Like-
you don't want AOC eyes. Charles Manson eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Lisa, thoughts on any of that?
No, I think you're spot on.
On the eye contact thing too?
Yep, eye contact definitely. I mean, I think when we look around like that, it makes people feel like they can't trust us.
Yeah.
It seems shifty.
Wandering eyes.
Yeah.
Like, why won't he look at me?
Is he hiding something?
Yeah.
Yeah, people that are lying or hiding
Checking
things
on my
don't
place.
take eye contact. They look down a lot. Not to your benefit, you're like all over the place. But I would work on that. I really would.
Okay.
Try just as you're having normal conversations with everybody, just look them in the eye and shake your head like this. All right.
Thank you.
I'm good. Are you good? You got any other questions? I think I beat you up enough on it.
No, I think that was good.
Okay.
It's ready for a comeback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me your hand. All right. Let's do. All right. I'm gonna wrap up with James, and anybody else I can handle, I'll do.
I have to go to class.
Go.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
And
good. Good job being here.
he's my ride. So,
Yeah, he's
oh,
got to
shoot,
get work
he's
anyway.
but I'll be here tonight. And I'll see
Okay.
you guys.
All right. Later. Hey, good job today. In the hot seat, for real.
Hey, is your car
I'm
in place
here
taking
for
here tonight?
No, I drove over there. We drove together.
Your car's in his place.
Yes, it is. All right. All right.
You be here tonight?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Bye. I'll see you tonight.
I
You
got
too.
it. Yes.
All right. See you guys. See you tonight. All right.
Oh, she licked
What's that?
me.
You want to grab this? That's
We'd like to. Would you rather work on your course? Or you feel good? Feeling good about this?
I can do my course tomorrow, so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna try to help him on his schedule, and then we're gonna wrap up.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to go like through my day from my appointments the other day. I was like, a couple of things from last week that just really kind of got to me was like, not rock, it was like quit wanting stuff, I started expecting it.
Yeah.
And then with Stephen Davies Wednesday was like, start making small changes and they'll add up to a big change. So that's kind of what I really been focusing on. Like, so Wednesday, I dialed and I had like 30 dials. I talked to 15 people and I booked 8 appointments. And so, well, one of those Wednesday, I was actually at my daughter's tennis match. I got an email for a TV lead that had called in an hour ago. Normally, I would have just waited for the next time I dialed, but I knew I had like 2 spots left for Wednesday or for Thursday. And so I went ahead and called her while I was at the tennis match and booked an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one small change that I made. And so then when I was running appointments, the first appointment I got.
What was her reaction when you call her the TV lead? I'm honestly looking more for feedback because these are a newer lead type for us.
Yeah, when I called her, I called her and basically I did the same thing, that I normally do is look, you looks like you were looking for some information. Looks like you had called in one of our TV commercials. And she's like, yeah. And I said, you gave us a code.
You got any of those yet? TV commercials?
Yeah. And like she was like, I called in a little bit ago. And I said, okay. And I basically just, said, I'll put my route together for tomorrow. And
Okay, you booked it.
Yeah.
All right, so yes, I like that change. So that's good.
And so when I got there, my first appointment was at 9:30. And I got there and the wife was back there getting dressed. And the husband was like, yeah, we got to go to a doctor's appointment or whatever, dental appointment. I said, okay. I said, well, so I really just need to kind of sit down with both of y'all. I want to make sure y'all both understand what we're talking about. I said, when will y'all be back from the dentist? He's like, well, we got to go to the store after that and we'll get back and it'll be close to 1. I said, okay. And at 1, you have to go drive the school bus because he had told me that when I was booking it. And I said, so what time do you get back from school? He said, well, you got some other stuff. He said, we're just really busy today. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, we can reschedule this. And I probably should have tried to nail down the time then. But,
Yep.
I didn't. So that
would
was
be a change I would make. Let's put y'all all both like y'all seem like as busy as I am.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and nail this down real quick.
Yeah. And so then the second appointment, so when I left there, I took I had an appointment in a apartment complex later that afternoon, and I had one in a second lead for the same apartment complex, but the phone number was wrong on it. So I took it with me to door knock. Well, since I didn't have that appointment, I went ahead and went door knocked it. And lady went home, so I left a notice on the door. I went to my second appointment, and they wasn't home. So I left a notice on the door, and it's like I left with her, so well, let me go ahead and just go eat lunch, get that out of the way. And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm going back to my second appointment, which I normally don't do. So I went back, and they were home. And so I got in there, and I wound up talking to the guy, and we went through everything, and he already had, I think, like 15,000 or something. He was going to add a little more to it. And so we were looking at 5,000. It's like, well, it's like, give me a couple of days on it. And I was like, okay. So he said, I need to talk to my kids. So I asked him, I was like, well, okay. So I understand that. I said, what exactly do you need to talk with them about? He said, well, I'm going to see if I can get them to help pay for it. Which, come to find out, I was talking to Curtis Sr. Curtis Jr. is the one that sent the lead.
Oh, boy.
So I booked the appointment with the guy that didn't even send the lead.
I got it, yeah.
Curtis Jr. was in the hospital. So I'm supposed to go back when he gets out of the hospital, so I can sit down with all the way. So when I left there, my door knock called me, and I went back to see her, and I sold her. And when I was walking out of her apartment, there was a lady walking on the hallway. So I said, "You're not going to 307, are you?" She said, "Yeah, I am." I said, "I'm James. I've got an appointment with you later this afternoon." I said, "We can just go ahead and do it now." And she's like, "Well, I haven't ate lunch yet." And
so what would have been better than telling her that?
I guess I don't know, asking about it. Yeah. Well, and so she said, "Well, no."
You want to do it right now, or is later better?
Yeah. Oh, and what she said, "Well, I hadn't eaten yet." I said, "Yeah, I remember you had your doctor's appointment at 11 this morning. That's why we scheduled it this afternoon." I said, "But I got to thinking about that, and because this was a current client." And I said, most of our insurance carriers close at 5. So if you could at least let me call and get your information about your policy, then I'll have it when I come back later this afternoon. And she's like, "Well, okay, yeah, I guess we could do that." So I went in, and so I called Forrester's, got the information, and she said, "You still managed to get yourself in here, didn't you?" And so we laughed about it. And then, how do you handle current clients? Because I've never been successful with any of those.
Really?
Which she had a $15,000 policy or $75 a month. She's like, "I would like more insurance, but I can't pay more than the $75 I'm currently paying." I've never been able to do anything with current clients. But how do you handle those?
By asking a lot of questions, finding out the original need, seeing where they're at. I mean, it's first of all, let me say this, and then we can get back into it. You can remove, if you're not great at them, don't spend money on them right now until you are. So cut them out of your GMR immediately, because they're the most expensive lead type. Okay. They're the most expensive lead type because people that buy insurance buy it up to 7 times in their lifetime, so they're more likely to buy it than anybody else. Okay. Yeah. People buy life insurance buy it 7 times in their lifetime. It's a little more complex. Current client is. It's not the same process. Yeah. It is a little more logical, actually. Without sounding rude or anything, I don't know if you're ready for a current client yet.
No, I agree.
And if you need me to talk to Kyle, I'm happy to call him. Hey, cut through that of his GMR. Yeah. The other thing, you and I have worked on this before. We've got to work on you asking questions and talking less. Yeah. You're a talker. Yeah. You talk to that wall right there. Yeah. For hours. Yeah. So.
Well, and that's what Saturday helped a lot too, seeing Brandon do his fly and stuff.
See how you're talking right now when I was getting ready to say something. You got to work on being quiet. It's tough. Yeah. I mean, especially when you got so much to say. Yeah. Really? Yeah. Part of the reason you're talking, I think, you're comfortable talking. I think silence bothers you.
I would agree with that.
So practice. This is not necessarily an overnight fix. It might be. It depends on you, but if you're aware of it, you can start working on it. And just every time you get the urge, just ask yourself internally, you got to form the habit. Should I say something here?
Yeah.
Should I wait? Will what I say add value to the conversation? Or am I feeling empty air? Okay. Because people actually value more as more of a better conversationalist if you listen more than you talk. And because of the way you're wired, and it's just okay.
Yeah.
You'll connect better if you can just allow silence to be there. You're doing really good right now.
I had trouble with that too.
Yeah.
Otters generally do.
Yeah.
I trust me.
He's always like,
The reason I'm so keen to this is because you're me.
Yeah.
It's like, I would love to talk.
Yeah.
You just can't. People like to know how much you care, not so much how much you know.
Right.
Like it's just constant. They're like, and whoever talks the most
Loses. Yeah.
Work on getting better at your questions. Honestly, this is such a big deal. I don't even want you to focus on any other technique stuff or anything right now. I don't want to cover anything else. If you can get good at this, the game's going to change for you.
Yeah.
Nod your head.
Well, I'm pretty good, but I'm not really good. And
Stop saying I'm not
I mean,
really
but
good.
I know it's only a few minor things to change.
Let me pause something real quick. I want to teach you something. When you're about ready to say I'm not really good at, what was that? What was the word? What were you going to say? I'm kind of good, but I'm not really good at what? What is it?
Well, I mean, just the whole the sales side of it, I guess.
So instead of saying I'm not really good, just like everything in life,
Yeah.
turn it into a question. How do I get better at the sales thing? See how much more powerful that is, and how much more does a question engage me than you just telling me one more bad thing about you?
Right.
Do you think I want to hear about how bad you're doing? Nobody does. Yeah. But if you ask me a question and engage me, how can I get better? Oh, well, let me tell you my expert advice. Okay. Right? I'm gonna be interested in that. Like, oh, you need advice. Well,
yeah.
Let me give you some. So questions are powerful.
Yeah.
Work on it, bro. Because you have the heart, like a gentle heart. You're the person that should be helping people. And I don't want your nervousness or whatever else is causing the constant to stop you. That's all. It's just a skill set. You can work on it. It's not going to necessarily be overnight, but try to be, just this week, be conscious of it. Think more about it. Learn to nod your head more and be thoughtful. Cover your mouth sometimes as a reminder. Like, tell me more. Like, practice those types of things.
Yeah.
Instead of dominating the conversation. That's going to help you in one way.
Yeah.
I think you've been around this thing long enough. You've got something, you've got the gist. But if you can learn to control that tendency, oh my gosh, you'd like to be pretty happy.
After that one, then the next appointment, the guy, he was like living in they call it an independent living facility, and I don't think he was really out there. He didn't.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So
we have some of those in Jacksonville.
Yeah. And so, and then after that gave me some time because Tasha was supposed to meet me to go to appointments with me. So that gave me a little extra time. So I just went and sat at her work and waited on her. It's like she came out. She's like, "What are you doing here?" So I'm here for her appointments. She's like, "Oh, I forgot." See how I thought that might happen. That's why I'm here. And so, we sat there and talked a while and did some few things with her and got her to write her first policy on herself. And then we went to the appointment that I set at the tennis match and sold 4 policies there. Did Miss Lisa, the lady who sent the policy in, her daughter, and then the daughter's 2 boys. So we sold 4 there. And then my last appointment that day went home. So,
By and large, you're doing pretty good, dude. I just think you could take it to the next level.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I think it's like right there. It's just,
I've seen you in person. You've just been coming around.
Yeah. And that's what I love. And that's what I appreciate because I've never had anybody help me like this.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it.
Our environment is unique. It's all, but we're just duplicating what was done to us. And
yeah.
It all comes from Andy Albright. So. All right.
So, yeah.
4 o'clock.
Hi, Diana.
Bye, Diana. Love you.
Hey guys, I love you. I'll see you later.
We're wrapping it up. All right, later. I guess.
Bye.
But I don't know if I do this or not, but I actually have swapped the day of the week I'm getting my kids. So that gives me another day to run business.
That's awesome.
So,
Awesome. All right, buddy. Good job. All right. Woo. Another hot seat in the bag. All right.
I have one question. for you.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, dude.
So I see a lot of people's problems from what it is, like transitioning, not necessarily